And welcome back to the second hour on Free for All Friday on Focal Point. And we will, in this hour, go to Genuine Free for All Friday. We'll take your calls on any topic that's been in the news over the course of this past week. So we'll let you help set the table for what we talk about today. Want to begin. So the number to call is 888-589-8840. Let's begin this hour by taking a call from Lee, who called in the last quarter hour to talk about her reaction to the Governor Mike Huckabee comments. Lee in Dallas, Texas, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Well, concerning Governor Huckabee and what he said, I don't think that's a problem at all, and I doubt that any woman would. But what I wanted to comment on is Governor Huckabee himself, whom I like, but I don't think he's a very strong conservative. He's not strong enough for me. I don't think he's strong enough for what we need right now. And I'm referring to the possibility of his running for president. I've heard that he might, because I'm hoping he won't. I hope he'll stay where he is. He has a good show. It's interesting to listen to. He does provide a platform for a lot of people that have good things to say that we need to hear. But I think he's too much on the establishment Republican side. He's spoken out to support people that I think need to be taken out now. They need to be removed from office. Like, I believe it was Graham that was on his show.
Yeah, and he basically endorsed Lindsey Graham. He did a video ad for Lindsey Graham where he said, this is the kind of leadership that we need in Washington. Now, he tried to retreat from that and tried to take the position, I was just saying nice things about Senator Graham. I really wasn't endorsing him. But I think the average person would look at that and kind of read that as a pretty strong endorsement. And what I see with Governor Huckabee, Lee, and I don't know if this is possible, I think he's trying to triangulate here. And I think what Governor Huckabee is aiming to do is to be the bridge between the evangelical base and the GOP elites, and the guy that kind of can cross that bridge between both groups and keep everybody happy. And I'm just not sure that is possible.
No, it's not, because he also recently said made a statement about how if we're not careful, we will, I don't know what word he used. I don't think it was split the Republican Party, but he was saying what he had to say was to caution us to say that there shouldn't be too much of a conflict within the party. And yes, there is some danger there, but we who care about real liberty and want a return to the traditional values that our forefathers fought and died for, that kind of thing, the grassroots candidates are the ones who stand up for things like that. It's not many of those Republicans who are already in office. They're so milquetoast, they won't stand for anything. They're a lot like McCain, who also needs to be replaced, and John Cornyn in Texas, who is now claiming that he is fighting for Obamacare. Well, I don't know what he's doing to do that. He certainly didn't do it while Ted Cruz was fighting, and he's just trying to get reelected. So I cringe every time I see one of his ads on TV that proclaims that he's fighting for us against Obamacare.
Well, you know, what's interesting. There's nothing like facing a conservative challenge to make somebody produce ads to make them sound like the reincarnation of Ronald Reagan. There may be absolutely no truth to it, and that's part of the thing. It can be very deceptive. People can paint themselves, wrap themselves in the flag, wrap themselves in the Constitution, wrap themselves in the mantle of Ronald Reagan, and if people aren't aware and knowledgeable, they might get fooled and saying, yeah, I like that guy, I'm going to vote for him again, not realizing that his actual voting record is much, much different. And that's a concern that I had, and we talked about this the other day, that Governor Huckabee has. It seems to me the signal that he's been sending is he doesn't want incumbent Republicans to be challenged in the primary. I mean, I don't know any other way that you would parse what he said other than that we shouldn't have grassroots Tea Party types challenging incumbent Republicans in the primaries. We need to save our ammunition. We need to pool our resources for the objective of taking out the Democrats in November. And, I think a lot of people on the grassroots, and it sounds like, Lee, this is where you're at, there's a lot of people in the grassroots that are thinking, no, we've got some incumbent Republicans that need to be replaced. I mean, a lot of conservatives think that Lindsey Graham needs to be replaced. John Cornyn needs to be replaced. A lot of people in my home state of Mississippi that are conservative believe that Thad Cochran needs to be replaced. A lot of people in Kentucky think Mitch McConnell needs to be replaced. So you've got a lot of places where there are conservative grassroots, evangelical Tea Party types that think, we've got an incumbent that's not really reflecting our values, and therefore we think we are interested in seeing some kind of a meaningful primary challenge to that individual because we think we can do better, and we would like to be able to have a voice in deciding who our candidate is going to be and not have that dictated to us by the Republican Party elites. And kind of that mindset that you really shouldn't run against an incumbent in a party, we ought to just be concerned about beating Democrats. It's kind of very paternalistic on the part of the GOP elites, the Karl Roves and the Reince Priebus's and all that. It's kind of paternalistic on their part to say, look, we will choose your candidates for you. You just be a good boy, sit in the corner, mind your manners, be seen and not heard, give money, make phone calls, distribute literature, but don't. We'll tell you who your candidates are that you are supposed to support. And I think most grassroots conservatives can say, no, I'm not interested in that. I want to have a say in picking my own candidates. Thank you very much. All right, Lee, thank you for the call. I appreciate that. Let's grab a call from Caroline in Northwest Arkansas. Caroline or Carolyn, I'm not sure how you say it. Welcome. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to say that, I hope the Christians don't stay at home and not vote because we can't find a perfect man. Jesus is the only perfect man.
Yeah, so, look what they did to him.
And so what did we do the last election? We can't vote for that one. He's not perfect and what. So I just want to make a comment. I don't find any fault with Huckabee. And, right now I'm not seeing a lot better. I think that we need to open our eyes and quit being so picky. Just find a person that at least is taking a stand. I don't know how strong, but we can't get Jesus, so we need to open our eyes.
Yeah. And, all right, Caroline, listen, I appreciate that. And, I think that is a reality at some point. I think we all have to accept that we are not going to be able to find an absolutely perfect candidate. That person does not exist. It exists in theory. But so what we ought to work for and hope for is a candidate that comes as close as possible to reflecting our views, and somebody who will advocate for those views, who will defend them, and who will promote them. And that's why I think we need an aggressive primary season so that the candidates, I think there were way too many debates last time in 2012. We just did not need 21 debates. That was completely unnecessary. You don't need that many. I think you need a handful of debates so that you can cover all of the various elements that need to be addressed. We need to find out where these people stand on gay marriage, where they stand on abortion, where they stand on the military, where they stand on the threat of Islam. We need to know answers to those questions. But there's a finite number of those issues that need to be addressed, and that can be handled in a finite number of debates. And then that's our job as grassroots conservatives, go to the polls and punch the lever for the guy that we think is going to do the best job of representing our views. Focal Point AFR Talk.